Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning Monday, 28th of August through to Sunday, the 3rd of September, 2017. I've decided to try portrait view today. Hopefully that's working for you guys. I know last week someone commented that the walls seemed to be swimming. And when I watched it, they did. And I think it's because when I prop up my iPad, I have to lean it against some books to get the right height. And obviously it's not sitting very snugly against there, so I thought I'd try portrait, see if it stays there, and from what I can tell so far, the walls are not moving, which is definitely not something you want. We've got enough to deal with, haven't we, without dealing with the very foundations of our lives moving on us. So let's start with Monday, the 28th, see what messages the angels have to give us about how to deal with what we're facing and, just make better life choices. So we start with Monday, chakra clearing. Now, if you're not familiar with the chakras, they're basically centers of energy that run in our energy field, or our aura, some people like to call it. And there are 7 main ones that we call, that we use in Reiki and in other forms of energy healing. I know Kundalini Yoga uses them as well. So there are actually tons more, but those are the main ones that we focus on. And basically, if there are blocks in those chakras, our life force gets stuck. We can feel drained, we can feel more fearful, we can cling on to old stuff, we can be more negative, although, you know, there are lots of causes for those sorts of things. So this invites us to clear some of those energy fields, and we can do that with meditations. There's some on YouTube for chakra clearing. There's an author called Anodea Judith, Anodea. She really gets stuck into the chakras. So if you're really interested in this stuff, I recommend you, if you look her up, I don't know if she's got a YouTube channel, but her books and her CDs, yes, CDs really, I'm quite retro. I found them really helpful myself, but there's also just energy healing in general can help you with that. But so the chakras are things like the base chakra is to do with, I won't go into all 7 of them, but the base chakra is just about our material needs. So if we've got blocks there, we might feel like we're never going to have enough money, that we'll always be poor. It's the first one that forms, so it's got a lot to do with our identity. So if we don't feel like we belong in our family, or we don't have good relations with our parents, we can have some blocks there. It's about our sense of belonging. If we didn't receive the care and nurturing we needed at a young age, that can cause blocks there. What else is it to do with? Look, I could be here talking about these a long time. I love the chakras. You can find out more on my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. If you go into I almost said it wrong, Reiki. People call it Reiki, and sometimes I find myself saying that too, as if I'm just trying to help them feel less embarrassed about saying it wrong, but it is Reiki. If you go into that tab, down the bottom there's a list of chakras and links to various articles I've written about them, but if that doesn't resonate with you, if you're like, don't really get this whole chakra thing, don't know what you're on about, that's okay. Think of this as an opportunity to do a general cleanse, so to let go of things that you're holding on to. Physical clutter. When was the last time you cleared out your wardrobe? What about your fridge? What about your pantry? What about things lying around your house? What about the clutter you're carrying around that's not serving you in an emotional sense? So the regrets you're holding about that thing you said to your sister last week, or the fact that you didn't go to so-and-so's 80th birthday. You know, all these things that you're holding on to that are holding you back, look at clearing them. In particular around negativity, they're saying there are some people listening to this who are beating themselves up about their performance at work, and that is what's holding them back. Excuse me. So there are people who are looking to progress, and they are not applying for jobs that they need to apply for in positions because they don't think they're good enough. They need to clear some of that self-sabotage behaviour and some of those patterns that are making them think they should be playing small, and that are trying to protect them from reaching further, because if you don't try, you can't fail, of course, which is just the worst strategy ever. So, and for those who are facing interviews, they're letting you know that you could, job interviews that is, that you could, I always have to clarify because I work as a journalist, and whenever I say interviews, people go, oh, what job are you going for? And I'm like, no, it's an interview for a story. You know, if you are facing a job interview, of course, be strategic about your preparation, but also do some emotional prep about what baggage am I taking into this that is going to hold me back? Do I feel inadequate? Do I feel like I always fail, that I'll always be second best? Do I feel like people like me never get ahead? Or whatever it is, look at those thoughts and see what you can do about busting them wide open, particularly if they're repeating and they are manifesting across your life as a pattern. Tuesday, the word clearing is a big one. I mean, we always need stuff to clear up. And often when people come to me with a specific problem they're facing, and it is old, and they say, why is this coming up for me? Things come up so they can be cleared. So I love that quote from Louise Hay. If you want to clean your house, you've got to be able to see where the dirt is. So that's why this stuff comes up, so we can get rid of it. Tuesday, play music. So music, for most of you, this is just going to be an invitation to... We had the ear chakras last week on Sunday. This is just an extension of that. It's talking about how music can be used for healing. So if you're struggling in the workplace because you're surrounded by negative people, can you maybe listen to music to block that out, to provide some sort of barrier against those energies? How can you use music more to uplift your mood? Uplift, I don't think that's a verb, but to lift up your mood. I use music when I'm cooking because I hate cooking so much, but it just helps me not think about the fact, God, I hate this, and just get it done. And of course, lots of people use music when they're exercising because it motivates you. So we all know that music can help us. And to reiterate that message from Sunday, there are also a lot of sounds and messages that we get through sound. So they might be song lyrics that jump out at us, or they might just be messages that we hear. So just remember that your intuition can speak to you via sound. For some of you, you need to be playing some music. Some of you have got a gift, or maybe not even a gift, but a real affinity with music, and you would suit learning a musical instrument or taking singing lessons or whatever it is. You know who you are anyway, and you know this because you've been thinking about it for a long time. Stop deliberating and do it. It doesn't matter about whether you're good or how far you're going to go with it. It only matters that you do it because it's healing for you, and it's about the process, not the product. So Wednesday, 30th of August, new idea. We had this one very recently as well. It's just about inspiration that comes to us via ideas. Some of you have already had a really good idea. You've been sitting on it for a little while. They're saying as far back as early August. For some of you, you need to do it. I know sometimes we procrastinate and we delay. Whoops, just about to drop the deck there. Because we're scared or because it seems too hard. And the way around that is just to break it up and attack it a bit at a time. Just tuning into this. So the card affirms that it is a good idea, the message you've been receiving, the idea that you've been being pushed to do. And they're also saying, they're emphasising this idea of community. So for a lot of you, you're going to need other people on board to help you, and it's a two-way street because those people will help you with your idea, but your idea will be helping them in some way. So be open to working with networks and with collaborating. Thursday. My most awkward deck of cards. I'll never be a gambler, that's for sure. That's that one. Okay. Sometimes they just tell me to stop, which is good if you've got a really awkward deck like that. Four of Gabriel, time for a celebration. This is romance, they're telling me. Gabriel's not actually associated with romance, but what's coming through is a sense of romance and renewal. In this part of the world, we're coming up for spring. In fact, is it the 1st of September, I think is the 1st of spring. So, and of course that symbolises new life, new beginnings, things blooming, coming out of hibernation and blossoming, basically. And they keep drawing my attention to these flowers here, and that's what I'm taking from that. So it's very much about letting us know that things are coming together for us. There's going to be evidence of things blooming. I know that sounds vague, but and they want you to celebrate how far you've come. And sometimes we're not very good at that because we think we need to get to a certain point before we can stop. And if we're not there yet, then we haven't got much to celebrate. We haven't got much to show for our endeavours. But in actual fact, the fact that you keep showing up and committing to your growth is a good enough reason to celebrate. So really celebrate. Celebrate sounds like it's something big, like you need to throw a party, but just reward yourself for how far you've come. You are further than you were this time last year, and you know that, oh my God, I'm so sorry guys. Someone upstairs has decided this is a really good time to do renovations. I can't believe it. I'm going to keep going with this. Hopefully it's okay. I'll play it back. If it's not, I'm going to have to re-record it. But if you're listening to this right now, then they've stopped. What is my luck right now? I'm having such trouble with these videos, I tell you. Can't wait till the retrograde is over. We're almost there. So yeah, just really about patting yourself on the back for how far you've come and doing something nice for yourself to celebrate yourself, because sometimes we wait for other people to give us compliments or other people to tell us that we're doing well, and actually that needs to come from you. So it can come from other people as well, of course, but you should also make sure that you're doing enough to make yourself proud, or to show yourself that you know your worth. Friday, Maya, this is an education one, and it's about personal growth across the board. For some of you, it is about formal education. I know we had this one recently as well. Of course, they repeat themselves. That's what they like to do. If you are not interested in going back to university or school or doing any workshops or anything, then what this really means is about your personal growth. So the things that you are learning, see the challenges that you have been through and the struggles as conducive to your betterment, and know that there was a purpose for that, even if you can't quite see it yet. So try to understand that we're all students of life, and that everything you are going through is for your better good, and you, even though it may not feel like it right now. So ask your angels for help, of course, if you're struggling and you can't see when things are going to get better, or you don't think that it's worth it, or it's worth continuing, or whatever. I don't mean continuing in life, I mean continuing with the path that you're on. And ask them to give you a sign as well if you're struggling. But we're all here to learn and grow, so try to be patient with yourself through that process, because it's not black and white. It's a twisty path, full of thorns sometimes, but full of a lot of flowers too. Saturday, the 2nd of September, incredibly, shower of abundance. Hooray! This image is actually on the back of the cards, so I love it. It's beautiful, beautiful purple colours. Purple's a very spiritual colour too. So abundance is really about the flow of resources to us. So primarily money, but also things that we need to survive, like food, shelter, air, all that sort of thing that we need. And it's letting you know that not only are you provided for, as was emphasised to us last week, but you are able to access more. So the biggest obstacle to us attracting more money and more resources is a fear that we don't deserve it, or a fear that it's not going to happen, or that we're going to be left short in some way. What can I do? So I can't help but think the timing of that is going to be significant for some of you. It's really emphasising something. So what you need to do is to really get to the core of where your financial issues are in terms of your self-beliefs, not in terms of your job or anything else like that, the flow, because your money comes from the universe. It doesn't come from your partner, it doesn't come from your boss, it comes from the universe. They're just channels. So what you need to be thinking about is, what are my core beliefs that are disrupting the flow of abundance to me? Do I believe, as my parents told me at a young age, that people like us will never have enough money? People like us will always struggle. We're not here to be rich, or money is evil. Any of that nonsense that some of us get taught by well-meaning parents, and really challenge that. So Louise Hay talks a lot about affirmations, so she's probably got a couple of affirmations, I believe, around this. I know there are certain ones I use, such as I'm supported by the universe at all times. These are things I say every day in my meditation. But ultimately, just ask the angels for more money. Say, dear angels, this is what I need, thank you. And be open to how it turns up. I once asked for more money and I got a free holiday. So wasn't exactly how I expected it to turn up, but it was wonderful. So yeah, it's not always going to look like how you expect. Sunday, ooh, I think we have two here and they're telling me they're both significant. Have confidence, always, always important. And there's a connection here between, I was talking about job interviews earlier. I can't actually remember what in particular that was in regards to, but I know it was important for some of you, and confidence is really important right now. Now, confidence is not the same as arrogance. It does not mean thinking you're better than anyone else. Try not to go into a comparison, competitive kind of state. Just think of it as, I'm good enough. And you are. You absolutely are. In fact, you're better than what you think you are. It doesn't mean you're better than other people. It just means you're better than yourself. And that's the only person you need to be competing with. Call on Archangel Michael if you need more confidence, but please know you have enough to do what you need to do. So get rid of that, I'm not good enough. All it does is keep you safe, which is what your ego wants, because it doesn't want you to try and be more than what you are right now, because then there are scary things that could happen and you're not as easily controlled. But that will make your heart very happy. Taking chances and trying to push yourself is what makes your heart happy, even though your ego is quite provoked by it. We also have a shield yourself. Some of you are in situations that are today, in particular, that are really provoking you. You're around negative people. A lot of family stuff is caught up with this kind of idea. A lot of us have relatives who unfortunately are either negative, they put us down, they try to one-up us, they're into control, they're into judgment, whatever it is, I don't know. There's always, families are so complicated. And the best thing you can do is shield yourself from that. So it might not be your family, whatever it, you know, trust your intuition on what that means to you. But you just need to make sure you're not taking on board those energies, because sometimes we can't get away from those situations in particular, but we need to keep ourselves safe. So try shielding yourself. There's all sorts of ways you can do that. Michael has a sword of light. What I do as part of my daily meditation is ask him to use that sword of light to create a shield around me of white light to keep me safe. And there are various layers I put around that, but that's kind of the basis of it. I recommend you Google this if you're interested in it. Shielding yourself, just shielding yourself, Archangel Michael. If you Google those kind of terms, you'll be able to get something. I do have an exercise I use that I can put up if you're interested. But really, it's about what resonates for you. You need to visualize yourself basically as in a bubble. So that's how you know you can protect your energy field, which is what I kind of was going into here. So looking at the week, bit of a mixed bag, I think. Oh man, whenever there's 8, it's just that little bit more awkward. Clearing our chakras, clearing our energy field. So that's really about the health of our energy field, making sure we're not taking on board other people's stuff. Music, very practical. Also about sound, messages that come to us via sound. Ideas, follow them up. Celebrating how far we've come and rewarding ourselves. Education and further learnings, abundance, which is all about money, of course, yay, and being confident, and some of us doing some shielding work. So that's it for the week. It's really about the energy field is probably the one theme that stands out here. The rest of it is really quite practical. But there's also a bit about dealing with challenges in terms of seeing them as lessons and to being confident enough to go after them in terms of to act on the ideas and messages that we're getting. That's it for the week. I'll post these on my Instagram as I always do, and the address is at One Grounded Angel. My Facebook page is called One Grounded Angel if you would like to reach me. My website is www.onegroundedangel.com, and there's a contact form there. I think it's called bookings, or yes, it's called bookings, or there is if you're not on your phone, if you're on the web version, there is on the right hand side a contact panel, or you can just email me onegroundedangel@gmail.com, Now, and that's what you need to do if you want personal guidance as well, a personal reading. I'm not able to give that. And these by nature have to be very general because everybody's at a different stage of their life and going through different things. So the idea is the messages to be general and you need to trust your intuition on what they actually mean for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to reading for you again next week. Thank you.